Hello and welcome back to Little Boots Fab. In today's video, we'll be unboxing my 5x5 Arclight plasma table. Let's get to it. Okay, so yesterday the plasma table got delivered. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna end up putting it about right here. Then I'll have a walkway right here. But I'm gonna go ahead and move this table. I'll put everything up on this table and then get it set up right here. So I'll put you on a tripod and get working. Okay, got it all cleaned up. So now we're gonna go ahead and start taking this pallet apart, and I'll probably set everything out there, or at least some of it, until I get the instructions and kind of figure out where to start and what the plan is gonna be. But let's go ahead and get this pallet taken apart and start setting it up. Okay, pretty much got it all taken apart. I might take that other side off still so I can pull stuff over there, or I'll just end up walking all the way around. But we have the rails for the motors right here and the gantry. And then everything else is in here. Then I did find the instructions, and this is kind of where they start as far as putting it together. So I'll go ahead and pull these parts over there and start setting up the legs and start building it. Okay, this is kind of where I left off on the plasma table. I actually got the torch in yesterday. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I had a few parts missing, so I contacted the salesman and he's getting all that stuff kind of ironed out for me, and it should be shipping here in the next few days. But I'm gonna go ahead and move forward and try to get it done as much as I possibly can, so that once those parts get here, I could just throw those parts on and then start testing it and stuff like that. So I'll throw you back on a tripod and get back to work. All right, so it's been about a week. I got the plasma table all put together. I got the parts in that I needed, and customer service was amazing. They got them to me as fast as they could. But one thing that I did also have to do is since I'm using an Everlast plasma cutter, I went ahead and added some wire, and the adapter for the Everlast, that's this little one right here, is different than the one that they originally had on it. So that's where I cut it off, and then ran a little extension just because it was pretty short too, and soldered it to that connector. I'll go grab my piece of paper kind of explaining what I did there. And then I also put in 2 drains so that I could drain out all the fluid whenever I want to do maintenance on the table and everything. And that's about as far as I've gotten. I was doing some test cuts here, just testing it out. Still trying to kind of dial it in. And then I also set the home and all that, so I'll go grab that piece of paper and show you kind of the wiring for that connector. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and throw on all the slats, and then we'll go ahead and fill the table up with water. And I went ahead and bought this plasma table cutter, the fluid. So there's a ratio that it needs. It's in the directions, so I'll get that ratio and put it all in there. Okay, so it's been a little bit since we were putting the table together. I got those parts that I needed, and didn't really... Alright, so it's been a little bit since the last video when we were putting the table together. I got those parts that I needed and didn't really feel like putting up the camera. I just really wanted to get it all together and kind of get it going. So that's what I went ahead and did. But we got it all put together. We got the water table filled, and we got this plasma cutting fluid in here with some water. The fluid that I'm using is the Tap Magic. I just got it off of Granger. Figured it was reasonably priced. I saw good reviews on it, so this is what I decided to start with. So some specs about the table. It is a Piranha 5x5 table. It is a true 5x5 cutting area. and you can actually stretch it out a little bit more than 5 foot by 5 foot. It took me a little bit to kind of get the table kind of dialed in with the cutting speed and everything like that. The plasma cutter itself is a Everlast, and it doesn't have any charts or anything online that allows you to like see what will work, or like having like defined charts. So I ended up just kind of finding one online, and I've kind of been playing with the cutting speeds and just using the chart that I found as like a baseline. But we're getting it dialed in. I think it's going to be one of those things that, you know, as I do it more, I'm going to kind of get more of a feel for it. But the more and more I cut with it, the better the cuts get. So I think we're kind of moving in the right direction as far as that. So as far as some of the selling points on why I decided to go with this table. So the footprint, it's a smaller table, but it's probably the biggest one that I want to fit here in my 2-car garage, just so that I have room for my other stuff and I have room to kind of walk around and stuff. If it was up to me and I had like a full 60 by 80 shop, I probably would have went with a 5 by 10 or a 4 by 8. But this is super good for any hobbyist or any small business, or, you know, anything like that that's working out of a smaller area. I think this is a very good option. And all the Piranhas, or most of them, I'm pretty sure, at least the model that I got, they all come standard with a water tray. That was another big selling point for me. Some other companies, it's kind of an add-on type of a thing, but I really appreciated how they included the water tray with the initial purchase of the table. So my whole process with buying this table, it was super smooth. Like I kind of mentioned when I was building it, I did have some parts that were missing, and it was super easy to get a hold of someone. There's a lifetime tech support when you buy one of these tables, so you can always give them a call, and you're talking to a real person, so you're not sitting there going through computer after computer trying to get, you know, to a real person. It's a real person, you know, and they're always willing to help you and super happy. And then also the parts for this table are stocked here in the US. So if you were ever to move and you end up losing a piece or something like that, you can always, you know, give them a call, and I'm sure they could be able to get you the part that you need. And then also like a week or two before the table itself shipped out to me, I was talking to the sales rep, and he was sending me emails on like training and tutorials on, you know, how to run the programs that this table uses. So that kind of gave me a leg up on, you know, what to expect, and you know, so I'm not getting the table and I'm trying to figure out the software and figure out, you know, all that stuff. It really allowed me to kind of dive into it a little earlier than getting the table. And that's going to wrap up this video. I'm super excited to have this plasma table in my shop. It's really going to allow me to expand my knowledge and my fabrication abilities. I'm looking forward to using it on some of my projects and some of the side jobs that I'll have coming up. If you made it this far in the video, please like, comment, and subscribe. It all really goes a long way.